You see breakfast. My name is Etoma Edu.
Well, good morning, Nigeria. It's always a pleasure to have you join us. And today is definitely going to be a fantastic show. I am Ria Abdul.
Good morning. This is Sam Omache. Good to see you.
Absolutely. We are all set for today's show, bringing you all the information you deserve to know. I'm Ibrahim Shita. Good morning.
And I'm very excited about today's show. Uncle Sam, nice to have you on the table. Good morning to you. How are you doing this morning?
Good.
Today is definitely going to be exciting. There's a lot to chew, on the table this morning. We call our papers food, Uncle Sam. This is what we call the papers are food. So there's a lot to chew on the show this morning. But thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you join us every morning. Like I said earlier on, there's a lot to talk about. We'll talk about clemency. We'll go to Abuja where we have the FCT brief. Ibrahim is going to give us all the headlines from the newspaper. And also, Olamide is going to come at some point to tell us what is trending all around the world. We're trending now. So please grab your cup of coffee and let's have a fantastic show. But we'll start with a story where in a recent insightful interview with renowned TV host and columnist Sam Omateshe, the governor of Niger State, Umar Mohammed Bago, shared his vision and strategic initiatives aimed at transforming Niger State into a powerhouse for food security and food sovereignty, not just in Nigeria, but globally. Now, the discussion, which delved deeply into the state's agriculture agenda, built upon the things the governor had earlier articulated in his address at the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs on food security for food sovereignty. Now, the governor highlighted several initiatives designed to boost food production, strengthen agricultural value chains, and ensure self-sufficiency in key commodities. We have more in this exclusive interview.
We are involved in this country now with a lot of wastages, and yet we are involved in phenomenal increase in food production. How do we reconcile these two?
A lot of our efforts in food production ends up at zero level because of post-harvest losses. And the call for investment in storage and also logistics is very, very important. And those are the kind of silent points that were brought out and discussed in general. So we are seeing a transition from lack of investment in this sector of agriculture, in storage, in logistics, in processing, to a regime now that is focused on providing infrastructure in its entire value chain of agriculture, from crop production, mechanization, irrigation, and also storage. And that is what we're discussing.
That's very significant. And the other issue too is many people want to know what is the intersection between all the work you are doing and security. Because you need security to secure the farm, but you have millions of acres of land. You've talked about a new plan to have great cotton production in cooperation with Benin Republic. You're having this 1.3 trillion or so with Dangote on rice production to make it the headquarters of rice. You also have the She initiative, which the president has already affirmed. And all of this need to work in an atmosphere of security. So how, in a vast land like Niger State, many people don't know that Niger State is as big as 3 or 4 more states put together. But how do you now deal with security side by side with production?
So this forum has given us opportunity to discuss our strength in terms of land and water resources. And with investment in land clearing, in machinery, and also land preparation, there will not be any ungoverned land because everywhere we farm. And these miscreants that are disturbing everybody will not even have a place to harbor. So the best way to tackle insecurity is multifaceted, but this one will clear the land. It will provide employment for the youth. So employment, or recruitment into this hooliganism will not thrive. People will have resources, people will have prosperity, there will be food, there won't be hunger. So once you develop your farms, you develop your land, there will not be any issue of insecurity. It will handle 80 to 90% of it.
Now you also have the issue of infrastructure. You've said a number of times that you are doing a lot of roads to make sure all of this work. How far have you gone, and how are the resources matching?
We need to thank the president of our country, my father, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. His economic policy has given all the subnationals enough resources. I can tell you. You know, I started with about 557 kilometers of road. I'm hitting 1,500 kilometers of road statewide. Some are federal roads, some are state roads, but we don't care because our people live in these places we call federal roads. Our people ply on this road we call federal roads. So in terms of road infrastructure, bridges, connectivity between communities, I think we are doing a lot, and we are grateful for the resources that are available to us at this point in time, you know, to be able to undertake this project.
Now you talked about Lagos, 500 billion naira deal. You've already started off, and you know, Lagos, as you said, we have the most appetite in the country. How far do you think this can go, and what are the intricacies of this arrangement?
So, you see, realizing our strength, ourselves and Lagos, has given us opportunity to have a peer review. In this peer review, we have seen our competitive advantage, and we have seen that Lagos is the market for consumption. And again, Nigerians spend about 5 billion or 10 billion naira to import both food and livestock, you know, and Lagos takes more than 50% of that. So producing for Lagos would definitely take care of that amount of money that goes out of this country in the name of capital flight for food. That is one. Secondly, we are providing logistics. The old locomotive gauge is being revived between Nigerian Railway Corporation, Niger State Government, and Lagos State Government for food and people to commute from Niger State to Lagos State. That again, Lagos State has invested in some LNG buses with cooling capacity and storage facilities that can carry a lot of food items, yams, tomatoes, you know, as fresh as they are from the farm to here. And it's given opportunity now to build markets and aggregation center in Niger State for Lagos. So this again has given us, you know, the war chest with the seed money of 5 billion naira, looking at 500 billion naira. You can imagine the kind of commerce and trade that is going to generate.
Yes, yes, and that leads to the issue of, you made a very important point about Saudi Arabia, how much rams they eat in one day. Is there going to be some kind of bilateral relationship between this country and the Middle East? It's not only Saudi Arabia, it's also UAE, it's also Qatar. All of these countries do not have the kind of capacities we have here to produce these livestock.
So, you know, the most important thing in livestock farming is feed. Most of the feed that is used for livestock farming need water. The Saudi Arabia and the Arabia, they lack water. We have advantage of water. Now, we can be able to plant alfalfa and other, you know, feed for livestock, feed them for them. But why we are talking at this institute is for us to be able to imbibe it, put in our national policy or international policy to say we must sign agreement for offtake with the Arabia or the GCC countries for the breed and species of animals they need, or for the feed they need. It's a two-way thing. Yes. Either to do the animals for them or to do the feed for them, or both.
Yes. Very interesting. Two more questions. One is the fact that it's capacity building. You talked about it. You go to your farm yourself. You get dirty in the process of doing this work. And for a country in a hurry, you don't have too much time to train people in a formal sense. How do you get people to learn on the go?
Yeah, because of
especially now, like we have like tractors, and you have to learn how to navigate some of this new equipment.
Yeah, it doesn't take you too long. To drive or navigate a tractor, you need a week on the farm. And to be able to operate other machines like harvesters, you need like 2 weeks to do that on the job. You know, and most of these are hands-on. You know, you don't need to go to the class, you just need commitment. You need to understand. So it pays your bills, you know, it takes care of your finances, and it gives you opportunity to also study. Some people who are not science biased, being on the farm and operating tractors, will be inquisitive and want to go into technical schools, and before you know it, they become technicians, you know, and before they become professors. They can, you know. And some are not even veterinary doctors, working with the veterinarians, they become nurses on the farm, and before you know it, they want to become veterinary doctors and they go to school. So it's an opportunity, you know, the ecosystem in the farm is robust, and we're encouraging a lot of youths to come. Getting dirty means you are working. If you don't get dirty, there's nothing to wash.
Yes, yes. Finally, you have endowed a chair in the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, which is supposed to be even competitive, not just for Nigerian scholars and all of that. Or how did you come about this kind of arrangement?
It's mentorship. You know, if you look at my background, I went to the university, my first degree, I studied political science. And I have seen the impact of this institution and its pivotal role in shaping international policy and diplomacy, not just in Nigeria, you know, since 1961, in even Africa at large. And there's need for me, I've been looking for the opportunity like this, and now I've gotten it. And I think to put my names on the walls of this country, this chair is going to be able to help me do that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
What a fantastic interview. And you know, the governor was here for a forum, and our Super Sam here was just able to, you know, meet him to have that very, very important conversation. All the questions were asked, if you ask me. But I'll start with you quickly, Toma, because of our time. Let's speak on storage, you know, because I know the governor mentioned storage as well.
Yes, you know, that's one of the most important aspects of agriculture. Why produce so much and you have nowhere to keep them? And Nigeria is not very strong when it comes to storage.
Yeah.
So him thinking about it at the scale at which he's thinking about it is quite commendable, and I really do hope that he succeeds.
All right. Super Sam, fantastic interview. I think you had all the questions. Everything was asked. You know, I love the fact that you also mentioned security, which is very important. But I just want you to highlight for me some of the key things that, you know, you spoke about, or some of the key things that the governor highlighted that you feel will stand the test of time from that interview.
I think there are a number of them. One of them was this point you made here is the paradox of producing and not being able to store them. And that is why we have to really deal with that issue of storage. And you can't just start produce now. Do we produce enough?
Yeah.
We don't know because we've wasted a lot.
We've wasted so much. Yeah.
So we want to know that. Now the other issue it raises is also, which I don't know, we really emphasize that one with Benin Republic, where it's going to create infrastructure to be supplying a lot of products to them, produce to them in Benin Republic. There's going to be a train infrastructure to connect the country, so that will be feeding the Republic there. That is a lot of foreign exchange for Nigeria.
Exactly.
Then the agreement of 500 billion with Lagos. You know, Lagos, Niger will be the farm. Lagos will be the barn.
Exactly.
Okay, the food and things like that.
But Ibrahim, let's just get your opinion quickly, because we have to go quickly.
Yeah, most definitely. Just show me one of the governors that are working in Nigeria, then I'll present to you Governor Bago, because he actually brought in about 2,000 tractors or thereabouts, you know, distributing it to the farmers, and he's doing so well. So kudos to
a big kudos to him, and kudos to our Super Sam as well for, you know, that in-depth interview. We'll take